Hi, I'm Eli Aguilar, and I'm very happy that you're here in another Yin Yoga practice. Today we're going to be working with different lines of energy that we have in the legs. We're going to be squeezing, compressing, stretching, lengthening, twisting to benefit certain organs. Don't worry about that. Anything that we do, any pose, especially in Yin, will unblock, will allow the energy to move wherever is needed. But sometimes we want to give an extra help to some of these organs. Today, we're going to be working especially in the stomach area. So by stimulating these lines of energy, we can help our digestive system to be healthier. Why not? Let's give it a try. You may not need any prop unless you know we're going to be doing some poses when you're going to be on your back. We're going to do half saddle, so if you have been working and practicing with me, you know what kind of pose is that one. Just have a bolster close to you just in case, but it's not needed. You know that in Yin, we use the props to be able to be in the pose for the entire duration of the posture without causing this stress in areas where we're not aiming to cause any stress. That being said, and when you're ready, hopefully in an environment that you can be quiet with no distractions, find your way to a comfortable seated position, closing your eyes, resting your hands on your knees or your thighs. Just taking a few moments here to let go the night, if you're practicing this early morning, or letting go everything that has happened so far in your day. Taking a few moments just to feel yourself on the mat. Observing your breath. Observing any sensation, any feeling, any emotion, any thought. Just observe without judging, without labeling. Be aware of where are you at this moment. Letting go of any expectation, we will work with whatever we have today, and we will all get benefits from whatever it is that we need them. Take this space for you to allow yourself to be quiet, to be present. There's nowhere to go, there's no place to be but here. Take a few moments more in this state of awareness. And gently, softly blinking your eyes open. So we will start at the end of the mat. So find your way and open your knees as wide as they will go on the mat. Toes maybe touching, heels down, hips down to your heels. We will come to this first wide knee child pose. So extending we're doing a twist here, so extend your right arm. Just bring my timer here and thread the left arm underneath, resting your left ear on the floor. You can keep your eyes open or closed. If they're open, find a focal point on the floor or on the mat that will allow you to be in a stillness. Or you can keep them closed. I'm not going anywhere. We will be here for about 3 minutes.
The right arm can be as active as you may feel like. The elbow can be off the floor, on the floor. Your left shoulder may be on the floor, may not. If it's not, it's okay. That is the space that we have to keep moving deeper into the pose. It's not about how it looks, it's about how it feels. Start feeling your hips heavy, sinking down on your heels. Right now where I am is early morning, so perhaps you can enjoy the sounds of nature waking up. Use those sounds to bring you back in the present moment, in the here and now. Allowing your body to become heavier and heavier, surrendering to the pose. Have about 20 more seconds to go. And mindfully, carefully bring your left arm to meet the right, pausing in the center for a moment. And we will start moving to the other side. So keep your left arm in front and start threading your right arm under. Placing your right ear on the mat, making sure that your heels are sinking down to your heels. Keeping your left arm active or passive. Your right shoulder heavy towards the floor. Closing your eyes and enjoying the silence of the pose. Today we're going to be doing forward folds, twist, while abducting the hip with the aim of lengthening, compressing and twisting lines of fascia along the front, the lateral side of the legs, the medial side of the legs. Science has shown that the fascia is where our energetic body lives. So by stimulating the fascia, that structure that is like a spider web, very thin, is so important, is the one that carries our energy, the flows of energy. So let's think about that structure that is a very transparent, fine, very thin layer of connective tissue that wraps our organs, bind us inside, support us inside. It's like giving a massage to our body from the inside out. Only a few more seconds remaining. And gently, we'll start coming back to the center. Stop it in the center for a moment. Bring your body up into tabletop. Remember to move slower than you think you should move. And we will do a pose. This is the pose that I was mentioning that maybe you may want to have the support of a bolster. Today I will practice it without the bolster. So if you know the half saddle, which is this pose when you're going to have one leg, one knee is flexed, your right foot is outside of your hip. So we have some modifications in case you don't want to use a prop. You don't need to use a prop. The prop is only, the bolster is only to elevate the floor if you decide to go back. But also you can see what to do with your knee. I remember in one class I heard a teacher saying that the key or the aim of this pose was to have the knees together. But that is the aesthetic alignment. And it's not wrong, but at the end is, from the functional approach, the way that I teach is more important how it feels. So if you need to move your knee out to be in the pose without causing any distress in the knee, please do so. So options: move your knee out, keep it in the center, move it in, depending on how you feel. Options to stay up here, to go on your hands. Let me start the timer here. To go on your hands, to go to your forearms, to land on the bolster or the pillow, if that is the case. You can stay here, or to go all the way down to the floor. So allow yourself a few moments to find the variation that works for you today. Remember, the body's not the same every day. We will be here for about 2 minutes. You can rest your hands wherever they feel comfortable. You can close your eyes and observe what you feel. We are lengthening a lot of things. In these kind of poses, people are afraid. We have created this cult around protecting the knee that honestly doesn't necessarily make sense. If that is the case, we have to protect all the joints, not only the knee. So by feeling what you may be feeling right now in the front of the knee, that things are getting a stretch, they are supposed to be feeling like that. It is supposed to feel like that because we are lengthening and stretching the quads, these 4 big muscles that we have in the front of the thigh. So we are stretching the upper part, we are stretching the lower part. So everything is tense right now. Muscles are meant to stretch. And in front of the knee, you have the tendon that we are stimulating in a yin way. We're not doing this dynamically and actively, which is what the ligaments and tendons don't like much. Only a few more seconds here. You will start coming out of the pose. Make your way to seated if you're not already there. And pause. It's always important to pause, see, feel, acknowledge. And from here we will move to a variation of dragon. So be mindful we're letting go this flexion in the right knee. So we're gonna move forward with the left leg. So keep your right leg behind, moving your left leg in front. So when we do the dragons, quite common is to hear the aesthetic alignment to keep your knee on top of your
ankle, which is one way to do it. But in Yin, we move also in different ways. So actually for this dragon, I will invite you to move your foot back. So we want the knee to come forward. So we are lengthening and stretching the back part of the ankle, and we are compressing the front part of the ankle. We're going all the way up to the knee and the hip, and this is called overstepping dragon. So don't worry if you see this pose, especially practicing Yin. We are not misaligned here. We are doing this on purpose. My only suggestion is that flex as deep as your heel remains on the floor. So we need to keep this heel on the floor. And why do I say that? Because if you lift the heel off the floor, then you will miss some of the stretch that we're giving to this part of the ankle. So let's keep it on the floor so you feel that stretch from there all the way up. 2 minutes in this variation of dragon. There are many variations of dragon pose. In the right leg we continue lengthening those attachments of the quads, those lines of fascia in the front of the thigh, while we compress the ankle, the knee, the hip of the left leg. A few more seconds. Your head can be aligned with the rest of your neck and your spine, or you can drop it down if that feels good for you. About 20 more seconds remaining. We'll keep the right leg where it is. We're going to start moving the left foot behind the right wrist to come into this sleeping swan. Modifications for the left leg. I have said this in many other classes, but it's more likely your left bum is going to be off the floor. That's okay. You don't have to have it on the floor necessarily. And we need to change the position of the foot depending on what is happening to the knee. Not necessarily this is the aesthetic alignment, 90-degree angle. That not necessarily this feels good for everybody. So you can allow your foot to go closer to your groin. You can flex it, you can point it, you can open your knee out or in. Remember that we're aiming in a functional approach. We're aiming to find that pose that feels effective. And then you come to your hands, your forearms, or you let go the forehead on the floor. Feeling your chest heavy. Both pelvis are aligned. So we avoid the urge of shifting the body weight to one side. We keep working with the front of the right hip, the right leg, while lengthening, stretching the lateral muscles of the left leg, the fascia on that area that carries these energetic channels. Undoing blockages wherever they are, releasing whatever it is that we need to release. Asanas are not a recipe. We cannot say, oh, let's practice these 2 poses for this. We are all connected inside. Our job is to move our body different directions and surrender to whatever needs to happen will happen.
One more minute. Try to stay in the stillness without any unnecessary movement. That's why I always encourage you to close your eyes. If your eyes are open, you can get distracted. Closing our eyes help us to remain inwards, to remain aware of the world within. And time's up. Gently start moving your body back up. We will meet in tabletop. Bring that right leg to meet the left. Pausing for a moment. And now keep sinking your hips down to your heels, coming into a child pose. Perhaps with your knees together, your legs together to relax, release what we have been doing. Down your head to the floor. Hands can be behind you. Just for a few moments. Now we will repeat on the other leg. So please come back up. Shift your body weight to one side to extend the legs. Gotcha. So we will start now with the left leg. So keep the right leg in front of you. Bring your left foot next to your hip. Again, see what this side needs. If you need the bolster here or the pillow, please have it with you. You can move your knee as wide as you may need it. Decide what to do with your torso. Find the variation that works for this side. Not necessarily we have to do exactly the same for both sides. Take your time to land in the pose. Definitely in my body, this pose feels different in the right than the left. Not better, not worse, just different. 2 minutes in half saddle pose. Your right leg is soft and relaxed. We're now holding the toes or the knees in any direction. If your lower back is arching, that is one of the, especially if if your torso is all the way down on the floor or on the bolster, is expected for the lumbar spine to extend. And it's one component of this posture is the back bend. So allow that curvature to be there. Have a few more seconds to go. And mindfully start coming out of the pose. Very gently. Remember, we have to move slower than we think we should move. Pausing. Taking the moment to transition to the other pose. We will do the overstepping dragon. So let's keep the left knee behind. We will start coming on your right. You may need to adjust your body like me. I'm a little out the mat. There we go. Move slowly, slow motion. And then move your right foot behind your knee. Remember, we want to have this space to stretch the back of the ankle. See how far we can go without lifting the heel off the floor. And then we stay in the pose for 2 minutes. You'll feel probably a nice stretch in the back of your calf. You can keep your head aligned, or you can drop it down. It doesn't feel good for me, so I always keep it aligned. We will be here for another minute. We keep working on the left leg in the front and in the posterior part of the right leg. Only 30 seconds remaining. Try to stay in stillness. Relaxing the body with every breath. And gently we will release a little bit just to move your left foot towards the right foot behind the left wrist. So see which angle you need to put your knee in. Again, if the bum is off the floor, majority of us will look exactly like this, so no need to prop. There's a misconception behind this. People prop to protect the knee. Nothing is going to happen to the knee where the bum is up in the air. We need to work on the external rotation of the hip. That is a different story, so that's why you want to change the position of the knee or the foot to assess the external rotation of the hip joint. And then you come forward. 3 minutes in sleeping swan. We'll look at the time here so I can relax. You can place your hand in your sacrum to see if both pelvis are in the same level. Sometimes we tend to shift the body weight to one side. Observing how your body becomes heavier and heavier. Perhaps allowing more space in different parts of your body. We have 1 minute remaining in the pose. Very gently, we will undo the pose, lifting your torso upright. Pausing for a moment, shifting your body weight to one side. Just bring both legs to the front. Gently landing both legs together. Pause, see how they feel. I can feel a lot of things happening in my right hip now. Good. So we will open our legs to come into dragonfly pose. You will open as wide as it feels comfortable. There's no particular angle for this pose. We are stimulating the lines that run in the medial side of the leg and also the lateral lines that we have in the body. So we will have this shape with the legs and we will do a twist. So it's a more active in the torso. So your legs are relaxed, allow the toes to be soft, and we will place the right hand on your left thigh. I'm mirroring here, and your left hand behind you just for support, and you twist over your left shoulder. Trying to keep your torso as straight as possible without collapsing back or forward. Using your thigh and the floor as support. You can close your eyes, you can gaze down, or you can keep looking over your left shoulder. Whatever helps you to be present. We are not actively going anywhere. We're just using our hands to support the torso. We're passively lengthening the right side of the spine, the right side of the torso. Few more seconds. And gently we release the twist. Pause in the center before moving to the other side. So keep the legs as they are. Now bring your left hand to hold on to your right thigh. Right arm behind you. Find the twist, so both sit bones remain on the floor. We don't want to lift one sit bone because we don't twist from the sacrum, we don't twist from the lumbar spine, we twist from the thoracic spine up. Mainly, the lumbar spine has some degree of twist for twisting, but is not
the place where majority of the twist will happen, and then of course the neck. Every time that we work with twist, a lot of organs get the benefits, but the digestive system gets massaged. This is at least how I like to see it. It is being massaged from inside out. Very gently release the leg, come back to the center, pause. Every time we do asymmetrical poses, when we're moving in different directions in both sides, we want to do symmetrical movement. So we will leave the legs exactly in the same position. We will move our hands forward and we start coming all the way down. Another 3 minutes in this dragonfly. Legs are soft, we're not holding the muscles, we're not using the muscles to hold the legs in any particular position. Torso is soft. We keep lengthening the medial side of the leg, the inside part of the leg, all the way from the groin to your ankles. Perhaps observing where you start the pose and where you keep moving. Probably you will finish the pose in a different position. You can observe and you can feel those spaces of openness happening. Yin is all about patience, observing with time, very subtle changes, improvement. One minute is remaining, so hopefully we can stay here in stillness with this yin attitude. This is the last pose before going to the resting pose. And softly walk your hands back up. We have been with the legs in this position for like 7 minutes. It's a lot for these tissues, so help them with your hands. We're going to go down to Shavasana, so make sure, remember, to be gentle. Our joints are vulnerable at these moments. You don't want to move too fast, too quick, too hard. So make your way to the floor, finding your Shavasana. Letting go. Dissolving on the mat. Your shoulders, the back of your head, your back, the sacrum, your calves, your heels, your arms, your hands, all those points are in contact with the floor. Help you to anchor to the floor. Softening your hips, your face, your abdomen, your legs, your arms. Letting go. We will be here for a few minutes. Then I will guide you out of the pose to finish the class. If you have time to stay here, please stay. Otherwise, wiggle your toes and your fingers, allowing the rest of your body to wake up. Lengthening, stretching. Rolling onto one side, either side, doesn't matter. Just a matter to pause before transitioning to a seated position. And as usual, I invite you to move slowly when you're coming off the mat. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for practicing with me. And I hope to see you again in another Yin Yoga class very soon. Have a lovely rest of your day or your evening. I hope you have enjoyed this class. If so, please let me know by clicking the like button down below and subscribing to this channel. Also, remember to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new video that I post every week. And if you have any request or any comment, any question about Yin Yoga and functional anatomy, leave me a comment below this video and I will be happy to reply and to create content about it. Thank you so much, and I will see you very soon.